Okay, guys, let's start. Hey everyone. We're back again in our Facebook Live series for devs, and in today's episode, we've invited our very own Filta crew member, Sharla Tungol, or I think her nickname is Sharla, if I'm not mistaken. We hired her like a few months, 6 months or 7 months before, and she's really been doing well. So she's here to talk about her experience with imposter syndrome. So, like me, it's the first time that I heard of it and searched about it. So if any of you haven't heard about it, have heard about imposter syndrome, it's simply like the feeling where you're not as good as people expect you to be. So, like for example, you got promoted and you have this doubt on yourself that you think you don't deserve the promotion, and you feel that you're not as good as they thought you should be, or maybe you just got lucky and got promoted for some reason because of tenure or whatever reason there is. So yeah, imposter syndrome is like something that every one of us feels at least one in our lives, not only in in our professional life, I guess, if that makes sense. So yeah, today, as mentioned, Charla would be our guest developer. So she'd be sharing how she overcome this imposter syndrome and how did she use this to help herself grow as a person and drive her career. So yeah, basically that's what we're gonna cover. And also you can while we do the interview with Charla, you can ask questions for her, and if the time permits, Charla's gonna try to answer it. So yeah, hi Charla, how are you?
Hi, Jensen. Hi, everyone. I'm so excited to be here. I'm good. Thank you. How about you?
Thank you for asking. I'm doing good as well. But
It's
yeah,
good.
okay, so let's start. I think it's
All right.
best to kick things off by you sharing things about yourself so they
Hi,
can get to know you
everyone.
better.
Yeah, sure. Hi, everyone. I'm Sharla Tungol. I've worked for a local digital agency for more than 6 years as a front end developer, and I've created different kind of websites, but mostly focus on e-commerce. Right now, I'm currently working for an international digital agency based in Australia.
Okay, yeah, that sounds really amazing. So again, if you guys are looking for opportunities to work with Charla, given her experience, if you want to really work with her experience, don't forget to visit our careers page. Most of the openings are for their team. Okay, so how many years of experience again do you have as a developer? And what coding languages do you consider yourself good at?
Yeah, I have more than 6 years of experience as a specifically in web front end developer. Basically, as a front end developer, you don't have any choice but JavaScript, of course. So, currently, I'm using JavaScript framework like Vue.js, and before, I tried the React JS. So,
Yeah, I think React is becoming a thing now.
yeah.
Yeah. Um, yeah, might as well learn it. But okay. All right. So, are you familiar, Charla, with imposter syndrome? If you are, could you like share what it means to you?
Mhm. Yeah, I still face imposter syndrome every day. I think for me, it's when you are not in your comfort zone. Like, it's a constant feeling of being not good enough, having a self doubt in your own abilities, achievements, and being afraid that you'll be recognized as a fraud, because these are the thoughts or feelings like, sometimes I feel like a fake. I don't deserve this, and I'm not really good at what I do. And these negative emotions are very common, and sometimes you just feel like you're lost.
Yeah, I get what you're saying. So, I think for our audiences to better understand it, could you tell us a time where where you felt imposter syndrome the most in your career, and can you tell us of that specific situation so we could better understand?
All right. From my personal experience, every time that I started something new that feels completely outside of my comfort zone, I remember when I got picked up and placed in a project which started in a rush manner with little context, and it has a complex of requirements. And that time, I'm not yet familiar with the framework that they are currently using, which is Vue.js. So I got panic because I don't think that I will be able to produce a good output, a good quality of product. And then after that, I talked to my manager about it and explained everything because that time, um, I think I will not be able to make it on time since the client wants it to be finished as soon as possible. So my manager really helped me to have a different perspective and give me guidance that I needed to accomplish to that project. And then, we started building a plan, like writing functional specs, scoping of all tasks, and we supported each other. And now, the project just went live last first week of December. So,
That's good. That's exciting.
yeah,
Huge
I'm
success.
happy. And, oh, I think you're on
That's
mute.
really good. Yeah. That's really good. That's really good. I really do appreciate whenever developers are really happy with the projects that they worked on for so long and it gets successfully deployed. The
Yeah.
joy that they have yet seeing the output of their work. So
Yes, definitely. That's
so
the best
yeah
one of the best feeling as a developer.
yeah I think most of the developers who's watching can completely can completely relate. So yeah. So uh what did you do again to overcome that situation? And how was the overall result? As mentioned that you were happy about it and all that stuff, but can you give us more details?
As a developer, knowing that there's always more to learn, I consider it as my opportunity to improve my skills to something new and get better at it every day. Because everyone started from somewhere. Like, I remember when I first started my first Hello World program, I didn't even know how to run it. And, there's always going to be someone out there who knows more than you, you know, and that's okay. It's normal not to know everything.
Yeah, I completely agree with you. Do you feel like experiencing the imposter syndrome helped you grow as a developer?
Experiencing imposter syndrome can be sometimes paralyzing. But we're only human, and there's nothing we can do about it because that feeling never goes away. And as a developer, we just need to overcome it because it can easily occur since technology keeps on evolving. And as a developer, you just need to adapt. So always take
Yeah.
advantage of the resources available online.
So an interesting question is that what do you think is the most difficult part of being a developer?
Mm, For me, it's solving problems every day that you've never encountered before, and also making decisions even in the smallest details, like what will be the class name for this, and while making sure that you still deliver a high quality of output and the best coding practices, are always applied so everyone can get a good experience.
So yeah, that's the hardest part.
Mhm.
On the other side of things, what do you think is the biggest like satisfaction that you get, as a developer?
Um, for me, it's having an opportunity to learn something new. Because being a developer, it requires a constant learning, learning of new languages, frameworks, new tools. So just always remember that there will always be more to learn.
Yeah, I completely agree. I completely agree. Never stop learning, especially
Yeah,
in this line of career. I tried doing development once, but I stopped learning and because I suck at it. But yeah.
you
Anyway,
should
that's my secret idea. No plans yet. No plans because I really do suck at it. Especially when it comes to CSS styling, I really do suck. And I think some of my friends who's watching would 100% agree. But anyway, so what do you feel now in your current role? What do you feel now in your current role and what you have achieved so far? What are your thoughts of it and feelings of it?
I'm in the process of adjusting, and sometimes I feel like I'm still not performing enough and struggling with the process and other stuff. But the good thing about it is that my manager and my team lead always gives me an assurance that, you're good, you're just doing fine. And they always remind me to be kind to myself, like not to feel burnout. So, yeah.
Yeah, yeah. So I think the next best question to piggyback on that one is that what advice would you give to other developers who are experiencing or might be experiencing imposter syndrome as of the moment?
Um, for me, it's, always remember that you are not alone. Always face your fears, and best if you can talk to someone, like to your colleague or to a dear friend, family, or talk to your manager to get a perspective, because they can help you to recognize the things that you've already achieved. And also, figure out what you really want, and from there you can start making a plan. It's I think for me it's always worth trying to something new, getting out of your comfort zone. So just always be excited on the challenges, because at the end of the day it will help you grow. So never quit. Never see quitting as an option.
Yeah, that's a really good advice. And always, I like to quote one thing that you said: always step out of your comfort zone because that's the only way to grow and to learn. If you're
Yes,
not
that's
that comfortable, maybe find a way how to be comfortable with it, because,
true.
or else it's gonna be a big blockage for you to like improve both as a person and as a professional in your line of career. And this applies to all roles, I think.
Yeah.
Okay, so yeah, we're open to questions now. I think that was a really good talk. The first question I saw is for me. It's a bit funny, but I hope you don't mind if I start on with this one, Charla. But
Sure, sure.
afterwards, I'll toss it over to you while you choose the questions.
Mhm.
Choose questions that you'd like to answer. But anyway, also from April, so what made you get into coding and what made you want to give up? That's a really good question because in my end, as you guys know, I'm a talent acquisition specialist. So basically, I do recruitment. Um, I Most of the positions that I hire are programming related. So I figured not to be the typical recruitment guy who just asked you, do you do HTML, CSS, JavaScript, good front end, and then the next one and so on and so forth. Because I think it's like an extra effort for me to be on the same page as you guys are, for me to better understand where you're coming from, what you're trying to say, and what you're trying to improve on in a way, or how you highlight your skills. I'd be automatically on the same page as you are. So it's like an extra effort for me to understand developers, not just interview you guys. If you tick all the boxes, we'll move on with the next steps. And for me to understand the difficulties that you go through in doing development, how hard it is to learn new technologies, how hard it is to integrate something that you're not used to, and all that stuff. So it's mainly for me to be on um, the same level as you guys are in terms of technicalities, if that makes sense. But yeah, and what made me give up? Basically because I think because first I suck at coding, I think, and I'm a type of learner that learns fast if someone would teach me on the spot, and it takes me time to learn by myself. Not that it takes me time to understand things by myself, especially if in my mindset I know that someone can teach me. It slows me down. So I think it's yeah, it's just me. I don't know, but yeah. Anyway, and Clarice is here. Clarice is actually a digital technical producer, team lead of Charlotte's, very supportive. Okay, have you chosen questions, Charlotte, that you'd like to answer?
Huh. How?
Um, I saw a good
Um.
one.
Mhm.
Um, this one from Ralph Fabian.
Yeah.
Um, as a senior developer, what's your vision and what is your why? You know, why do you do what you do? Why do you love development? I think that's what is coming after the book of why. Start with
Mm,
why. Right?
For me, I think it's having that feeling, yung excitement dun sa ginagawa mo na when you get that satisfaction from your clients, from your manager that you're producing output, and that feeling that you get a chance, to explore things, to get better at it every day because I remember what my dad said to me that technology changes in just blink of an eye, and with that opportunity that you get to learn new things every day and you get to improve every day, that really excites me. So
Yeah, that's good. That's good. So your main motivation is to spice things up on a daily basis, to learn every day. I think that's really a good thing, especially a good attribute or character a characteristic, especially for developers, because I think that's one of the main requirements that's not on paper. So yeah, I think that's a really good one. Have you seen any questions that you'd like to answer, or I can go through it if you want.
sure, sure.
Ah, this one is interesting from Dan Hendricks. Um, how did you get your first job as a web developer?
um Actually, just a trivia. I didn't started as a web developer at first because during that time, since my course was information technology, so it's very broad. So you have an option to be quality assurance, to be a technical support, and designer and a web developer. Um, so I had a training for 3 months, and then after that, I figure out that yung pagka mismo dun sa pagko-code, like yung getting different outputs every day, searching different outputs dun sa website na alam mong magiging happy yung clients mo at the same time, yung user nagagamit dun sa app na dine-develop mo at the same time. So, dun ko na-realize na yun yung gusto kong gawin. So, bumalik ako sa pagiging web developer. So, na-realize ko, first love ko pala siya.
That's really good. That's really good actually. So because every developer has different stories, so that's really good. For the next question, I think I saw one that's really good. Um, gosh, I'm just looking for it. I saw one earlier. This one. How would you know if you're already qualified or if you're ready to call yourself as a senior developer? Like, do you need to check specific things or before you'd be able to say you're already on a senior level?
Um, it's actually it depends on the company based on their requirements. Sometimes other companies requires to have at least 4 to 5 years of experience to be considered as a senior developer. But definitely in your own, sa sarili mo, malalaman mo yun if you're qualified to be a senior developer. If you see yourself like mentoring junior developers, like guiding them, and yung sinishare mo yung knowledge mo as much as you can. So, and also you're flexible enough to adapt with the new technologies that we have right now, and of course continues learning and learning. So
Yeah, that's a really good answer, Sharla, because most, if especially those starters, they
mhm.
think being a senior is someone who has used this technology for quite some time, but they usually forget that um, people who get promoted to senior levels are the one who has attributes of being a senior.
Mhm,
So I
yeah.
think that's a good topic to talk about, and it's gonna be for a really really long one. And I don't know if you've seen this one. April Pineda is asking if you're single. No, I think she's taken. I think she is taken.
So,
But you can ask for her autograph though. I think that's the most that she can do. I don't know. Just answer it for you. Uh, but we do have another question, which is I think is a really 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 good one, especially for starters. So
mhm.
he's asking what's your motivation to learn and be successful as a developer when no one supports you or motivates you or even believes in you?
Uh, you know, I for me, don't let others dictate what's right or wrong for you. You should decide for your own self because it's for your own good. I mean, others will always have to say something. Others will always criticize you, but use it as an opportunity for them to for you use it as a challenge na i-take mo yun to grow kasi at the end of the day it's for your own good and hindi mo talaga, you cannot please everyone. And just be excited on the challenges, be excited to learn, just just use the available all the available resources online like Udemy, like what else, W3 schools for for those who wants to start building a website, for learning basic HTML and CSS. So
Yeah, very well
yeah,
said. Very well said.
self.
So, yeah, I completely agree. Motivation starts within yourself.
Mhm.
Um, don't have that mindset to be dependent on others.
Mhm.
Always find the motivation why you do what you do
Yes,
instead of
definitely.
depending on others pushing you. Exactly what Charla said. So I agree with that 100%. Because if no one pushes you, if you won't push yourself, who would, right?
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, I think that's uh most of which. Yeah, I think we've covered much. So again, guys, we really like to thank you, Charla, for your time. Really do appreciate you squeezing this into your busy schedule. I know that you have a lot of dev works, and you just might have forced you to join in, but it's really good that you're always open to share wisdom and experiences over to those to developers because I think sharing experiences, knowledge, and wisdom is not it doesn't have a requirement. Doesn't necessarily mean that you have to be a manager on a senior level. Sharing is like a healthy practice, so that's what
Mhm.
we aim to do here. To for you to learn from each other and for you to learn on different
And
people with
also,
different backgrounds. Yeah,
don't be afraid to ask questions. So if you don't know
yeah,
something, just ask.
yeah. But before you ask, do your half of it
Mhm.
first, because you might just ask and ask and ask and ask. That's no good. But
Yeah,
yeah,
I agree.
um, yeah, I think that's most of it for us for today. Um, for our next speaker, for our next episode, we'll keep you posted as usual. Check our Filta Facebook page for updates, and don't forget to visit our Filta careers page, filtaglobal.com/careers for openings, especially if you want to work with Charla. Those the positions are the full stack Shopify, PHP dev roles, and full stack Magento. Yeah. Thank you so much for your time, guys. I really do appreciate it, and
Yes, thanks for
enjoy your
having me.
Thursday.
Thank
Likewise,
you.
Charla.
Bye,
Likewise.
Jan. Thank
Bye.
you. Bye bye.